Alright, my name is Jessica and I'll be interviewing you today. What's your name?
Amy Kim.
Alright, I'm just going to ask you just a couple of questions about your culture.
Okay.
Alright, so where's your family from?
My dad is from Vietnam, my mom's from Cambodia. And, yeah, they're all from Vietnam, Cambodia.
And how old are you?
I'm 20.
20, and you said Amy.
Amy Kim.
Okay. And could you tell us a little bit about your family and how they got here? And
Okay, now my dad, he got here when there was the Vietnam War going on, and it was like it was the Cambodians actually trying to take over Vietnam, and they were taking over the cops and everything, and they were killing like whoever that didn't want to go and work for them, and they wanted they wanted all the men to like do the work, like make the rice for them to eat, and do all like the what do you call it, like. You know how they have like fields of rice? That's what they was doing. They gotta do that. And so my dad, he was trying to run away from born and raised because of that, because he seen some of his family members get killed, and he knew that they was almost there to their town. So actually, my dad had a little brother. I had a little son there. That's all. Okay, so my dad had a son there, and he had to leave his wife to run away. So he couldn't take them because they were too small, and they were going to end up getting caught over there, and didn't really do nothing to the women, so just made, the women cook and clean and stuff like that. But sometimes they would, rape them if, they didn't listen. So the men's actually, they have a movie called The Killing Field, and it actually shows you when that time when my dad actually ran. But how my dad got here was him and his cousin. My dad was about 16, no, I think he was like 15. He said he ran over there with his cousins. They had like go across the country to hit Thailand, because Thailand was the safe point. And he said that they would have to crawl in the daytime, like crawl on their hands and knees, so like the guards wouldn't see them. They had to crawl like through trees and stuff like that. And they would see like people would try to travel with their whole family and bring like their kids with them, but they'll the babies would start crying, and the men would end up hearing the babies crying, to run up to them and shoot the babies and the women, the whole family. That anybody that escaped and they found you, they would kill you. So my dad would see that happen. He'd see them kill kids, and he'd sleep in a tree. He had to like tie something around his waist so he'd be in the tree. And they couldn't find him, but he said there'd be tigers or snakes up in the tree. And he said you gotta be really, really careful when you walk through the woods, because they have like bombs on the floor. He's seen people get blown up, and he said that when he's passing through and he sees like a lot of people are dead, he has to take their food to survive to reach his destination where he needs to go. And I don't know, it was just so horrible for him, he said. And then when they actually got to the safe point, the guards, they were helping them, but they were actually bad too. They would take the women and rape the women too. So he had to stay there for a few years in the camp for a few years until they actually took him to America. When they took him to America, I think he stayed like an extra 5 years. And then his family didn't know if he was alive or dead because they wouldn't let him talk to him. They went and he couldn't talk to his parents down there until, they were safe enough for him to talk to them. So he actually called them like 8 to 10 years later, and he told them that they was alive, and, they just started crying. But that's when the war had ended, by the time he talked to his family. And then, my mom, she had to go through the same thing, but she traveled with, it was 3 girls and 1 boy, and her mom and dad, they traveled. And the youngest child was my uncle, and he was like, I think, 3 years old, they said he was, and they had to travel, they had to go through the same stuff, but it actually kept them together, because, some families, they end up getting broken up, or, they said to keep my, my uncle, keep him from crying. They were like, when he started crying, they would like do some prayer over him, and then he'd stop crying. I don't know what they did, but that's what they did to keep him safe. I guess God was with him, and so he stopped crying, and they had to do what my dad had to do, and they seen all that stuff happen. And my dad was hanging out with my grandpa, and actually that's how he met my mom, married her.
Okay. And what are some of the traditions that y'all do?
Well, there's this thing they do like once a year, and it's really big. It's like a Day of the Dead, where like Asian people, like if their family dies, like they go to the temple, and it's like 6 temples that they have to go to either 6 temples to feed the family. And there's like monks there that's praying, like Buddha. There's a Buddha statue there, and there's like a lot of monks there, and they have like bowls of food all in a row, and you take like sticky rice, you take fruits, you take whatever you want, and you stick them in each thing. And supposedly that day is the day where, you know, like, the dead comes, like if they're like in hell, they come and rise up and they're going to eat that day. And there's actually a video showing, like, explaining why they do that, because this dead couple was dead and they had like a niece left, and she didn't go feed them one year, and they traveled to all 6 temples. The ghost did travel to all 6 temples, and they couldn't find no food for them, so they actually went in her sleep and told her that they were hungry and that there's the grandma. She actually, you know, she was so scared, started crying. You know, she didn't really know that's what she had to do. She knew it, but she didn't do it that year, so they went in her sleep and she did it, and she said she done it from now on. After that.
And what is the difference between in your country, like from the rich and the poor, like what they eat and dress?
Well, the rich people, they have like houses like we have here in America. They own stuff. They own like acres of land and stuff like that. And the poor people, they have like little, you know, like wood, like straws. You know what I'm talking about? Like straw wood. They have that for their houses, and their floor is just dirt. And they actually have to go outside to like a little hole they dig to use the bathroom in it. And to take a shower, they all use like this one thing that falls out, and there's nothing to cover you up, so you have to like hang towels all around it. That's what the poor does. But yeah, there are some rich parts where, you know, they have a skating ring and all that stuff there. But the poor people, you know, they don't have all that.
And what do y'all eat there?
Well, they mainly eat rice there, but, you know, the poor people, like my dad said, that they have to eat everything. They eat rats, they eat snakes, they eat bugs, they eat anything that's crawling and alive, they'll eat it. Dogs and cats, they'll eat it. They don't eat anything there, because, you know, there's a lot of poor people there, so anything they see, they eat it, and it gets like where there's no food left, and they have to starve, so that's how they eat. Or they like make like a little bit of rice. They get like a little cup of rice, and they put water in it, like a lot of water, and make the rice all, you know, spread apart so it's a lot, and just, you know, drink it like that. They're really poor.
Okay. And some of the clothes that you might find there?
Well, actually, this is what I have for my little girl. It's like a pants with a little Asian shirt to go with it. This is what they wear. Well, this is really like for the richer side, but the poor people do have this, but, you know, they usually just wear like rag shirts and stuff like that. And here's a dress, like a traditional dress that they usually wear down there. And this is what they, every time we go to the temple, this is what they would wear to a temple. That's it.
And do you still have family there?
I do. I have my dad. He left his son there, and he has his mom, and his dad actually passed away. And my brother has 4 kids there. So he has 2 girls. 3 girls and 1 boy.
Okay. And what is some of the struggles your family faced by moving to America and learning the language and different things like that?
Well, moving to America is way better than living over there. They, you know, they're happy to be here. You know, it's hard for them to learn English, but they wanted to learn, you know. When they came down here, they put them in school, and they found them jobs and paid for the rent until they was able, you know, to pay their own rent. And that's how they love it over here. You know, they're adjusting, and they talk really good English now.
Okay. Do you think they will ever go back?
Yeah, actually my dad goes back and visits like every few years. He goes and visits his mom and brings them money and stuff like that. Because I think $100 over here will last them over there for 4 months of eating and partying and doing like all the stuff the rich people would do. $100 in America will last them over there for 4 months to do like all that stuff. They can eat and party all day. They can go to the mall and shop and get whatever they want for 4 months. It will last them all that stuff.
Is the mall different over there than this here?
Yeah. Yeah, it's way different. They just have like, well actually, you know, they make like Air Force Ones over there, but it's real cheap over there because they make it over there. They make Air Force Ones in Vietnam and send them over here, but they have that and stuff over there, but it just don't look like the mall over here. You know, it's just like clothes hanging on a rack and different stores like that.
Okay. And would you think your dad would ever, or you would ever want to go and live there?
No. He said it's too hard living there. It's really, really hot. You know, it doesn't snow or hardly rain like that over there. And he said it's just, you know, something that he just want to go visit his family, but not actually leave America, because America's way better. And he wants his mom to come, but she said she's too old and she doesn't want to leave her country. She wants to pass away there. and his dad, you know, passed away, so she wants to be there with him. And you know, in Asian they usually cremate you, and they put your bones in the house and stuff like that. And they put like a candle and they light incense right there, and they put like food right there with your picture right there. And I guess that's like every time my dad would put food right there for his dad, he would pray, and I guess he said his dad would come and eat the food every time he did that. So that's what they do over there. They always get cremated so they can keep your bones.
And how did your parents meet again?
My dad met my grandpa at the house one day, and they was partying, and my mom had got off the school bus. And my dad said he seen her, he thought she was so beautiful getting off the bus with her other sisters, and he told my grandpa that, you know, she's the one he wanted to marry. I don't know how he wanted to marry her, he didn't know. He said she's the one he wanted to marry, so my grandpa introduced them, and my mom ended up liking them, and they fell in love.
Okay. And did your parents try to keep y'all, like, in the culture of just learning more about where you're from and stuff?
Yeah, well, you know, they want us to keep on speaking Cambodian, so we'll learn, like, if we don't say, like, cha, that means yes, sir, and something like that. They want us to always say that, and every time we, like, see an elder, we always have to do our hands like this to them, and that's to show them respect, and that's what they want. That's the main thing they want us to do. And like they said, that when they pass away, they want us to go to the temple and do the same thing for them because they don't want to starve or whatever. So that's what they do.
Have your parents ever told you any other childhood stories about what happened there or anything?
Well, the only thing that really traumatized them was when they seen, like, you know, the kids get killed and, like, smashed against the trees. Like, they didn't care about the kids. Like, they would, as soon as they found the whole family, they would shoot all the time. That's how crazy they were down there. They were really bad down there. They would lock the mans up in a room and just feed the mans like a little bowl of rice a day. And some mans would eventually dehydrate and die. But you know, they would throw all the dead bodies like in one pile in the ditch, and that's how they leave them like that. There was this whole section with nothing but dead bodies, and they didn't even burn you or nothing. They just threw you, like, as soon as you died, the soldiers would take you and throw you in like that one section until the war actually ended and the family got to get the bodies back and cremated the right way.
Was the women treated worse than the men, or the men treated worse?
The men's work, they had to work in the hot sun and they would get whipped if they didn't do it right, and you know, they didn't get it fed. Like, the women would cook so that, you know, they could sneak some food, but they would have to cater to the men. And, you know, some women would get raped. But they would leave some families, like, in the household, if, you know, they were old grandmas and stuff like that. They would leave in the household, and some people would hide in the house. They wouldn't find them. And that's, you know, I think the men's got treated way worse.
And you said your mom and dad basically went through the same thing?
Yeah, they went through the same thing, because my mom, you know, it's not easy just to leave the country. They wanted to leave Cambodia too, because Cambodia wasn't doing good either. Because, you know, the new president was trying to take over Vietnam, and he was worse, you know, he was worse too, because he was running their country. So he was trying to leave. But that's why they left too at the same time. They ended up meeting each other here in America.
So overall, you would say your family's happy here?
Yeah, they're really happy. Because, you know, they make way more money here, and it's not so hot, and they don't have to be slaves, and, you know, the state helps them out to get them where they're at now, so they're, you know, they're really grateful for them.
You say your dad goes back. Do your mom ever go back?
Yeah, well, she went back a few times, because she has a sister there. Her sister actually stayed there because she had her own family there. She had her husband, and she already had 2 kids, and she didn't want to leave her family. So my grandparents just, you know, left and took her other kids with them because, you know, their daughter didn't want to go and couldn't force her to leave her family.
Okay. Did the family, let's say, in Vietnam come up here and visit y'all, or do y'all go and visit them?
Well, they can't come, actually. They can't, it's not, you know, it's easy for us to just get a passport and go over there and see them and, you know, whatever we need to go to see them, but they can't just leave their country to come see us. And, well, they can, like, if you got it takes like 4 years. Like, if my dad actually wanted to bring someone from over there, he would have to marry the girl and make her a citizen. He would have to marry her, but she wouldn't be able to come here until 4 years. So they'd have to be married for 4 years before he could even bring her here. His parents are the same way, but, you know, she's too old. She doesn't want to leave the country at all. You know, she doesn't want to come live over here because she has a lot of family over there too.
Do you ever like dress like you were there or anything?
Well, when my girls dress like it, but I wouldn't dress like it over here in America. But maybe if I go to the temple, I would wear something like that, the blue outfit.
Do you ever want to go to the temple?
Oh yeah, we go to the temple.
How often?
Well, they actually have like special events. I would say like 3 big ones a year. But the main one is, you know, the dead of you know, the dead. That's the main one. But they actually, you know, when they get done with that, they party. They have like a lot of food out there. They're dancing and stuff like that. And they stay out there for a while. It's like a big old party when they go do that. And, you know, they feed the monks. Actually, there's like the temple, there's monks that live at the temple. And that's their job. And they actually can't, some monks can't touch women. Like, they can't even shake their hand or nothing like that. I guess because it's bad luck or something. They can't even touch them. And some monks stay quiet for years and don't even talk. Like, they can stay quiet for a while and they can just sit there and concentrate on themselves. And they have like little boy monks too that they train. Like, their parents want to put them in there and they're going to go. They'll go up there until like 4 to 5 years old and they'll stay there for their whole life and become a monk. And, you know, they shave their head bald and they wear like